to be back out there. The players I know are excited to be out there. Our rookies, first college football practice, so you can imagine they're just energized and charged up, and glad to be up here and having a chance to compete for a spot and be on this team. So it's fun to be back out there. This game certainly isn't designed to be played in shorts and T-shirts and helmets only, and that makes practice a little bit of a challenge. But a lot of fundamental stuff, obviously, and very little running into each other. We try to be very, very cautious of that. We got some bags and stuff, but it's good. First couple of days just to get back in the groove, to get the freshmen a taste of what a college practice is all about. And the split practices like we've done in years past, I think it's just a good way for us to prepare.
Can you tell us what you kind of work on these first couple of days?
Heavy fundamentals, assignments, base plays. If we're doing anything where there's 11 guys, it's it's just the base calls on defense, the base calls on offense, so that we can execute some plays, and a lot of time where we're split. Just even the units themselves, the defensive backs, the linebackers, the outside linebackers, the D-line, just split up, different places on the field, on the practice field, working on fundamentals and techniques, and same thing on offense. But we have some circuit work where guys work together, and we're working defensively on tackling or takeaways and those kinds of things on offense, just the different blocks. And we can do all that against bags, and there isn't any contact. And I think just getting that work again after not having been out there since April, it's good. It's good for us to get back in the groove like that.
Charles?
I want to go to a comment that Coach Greg Schiano Rutgers had a couple of days ago. He said that one of his favorite times of the year is now, when he gets the players, no distractions, there's no school, no time limitations. This is a time of year that he says that is probably the most time for improvement, where you're doing it every day. Maybe you have one day off of the week, but you're meeting with the players. You get immediate feedback off of video. So it's one of the most important times for any football team. Can you relate to Coach Schiano's comments as it relates to going into training camp?
I agree completely. And I've said it many times that camp is my favorite time of year. I really enjoy preseason camp because of all those reasons that Coach Schiano mentioned. It gives us an opportunity to build the brotherhood and to build relationships and really get to know each other in a way that is difficult oftentimes during the season. During the season, those guys are racing to get up here. We've got meetings. They're all in different meetings. We have lifting. They're all in different lifts. We're on the practice field, and when you're having competition and you're trying to practice and get better, there's not a whole lot of time to chit-chat and BS. And after the practice is over, some guys are going to treatments, some guys go straight to dinner, and some have study hall. And so we're all on different schedules, even though we're on the same team. And during preseason camp, there are opportunities to just slow everything down and to really dive into building team and building brotherhood, and that's what I really like about it.
Awesome. Now, the strength and conditioning is obviously an essential part of the constant maturation of the Army football program. We've seen that over the years. Can you provide us with kind of Reader's Digest version of how the teams progressed during the off-season S&C, and were there any notable standouts relative to moving from how they looked then and versus now category?
Our best training time is in the summer, because for the same reasons that camp is so valuable, the summer is really valuable for training and strength and speed development. We're going to spend the entirety of camp just practicing football, meeting on football, and really our sole focus is on our sport. In the summertime, though they take summer school classes, it's far less time consuming because their schedule is cut down to just a class or two each summer school session. So there's a lot of time for them to train and for us to lift and to run and condition. And our guys completely transform their bodies in the summertime. It's amazing to see. And the change from a guy that comes in as a freshman, goes through Beast Barracks, then goes through the season. When he gets into January and starts working out, there's a real change that happens between January and May. But when he comes out of summer training at the end of May and we get going with conditioning in June and training in June, that June and July, those months, those 8 weeks we get, it's just incredible to see the difference that's made not only for those freshmen, but everybody on our team. And we had some guys that made some tremendous improvements this summer. And we got a great staff. And Coach Hughes and that staff, they do a terrific job with our guys. But our guys have great energy and passion for trying to be the very best they can be. And when they go in that weight room, there's always just a charge of energy in there. That's certainly created by our staff and the energy they have, but our players, they never have a bad day in there, and it's fun to watch them. But I think that's the reason why they're able to make such tremendous gains over a short period of time. So when they go out in summer training in May, sometimes they lose some weight out there, but they're pretty quick to gain it back, and their strength comes back. We had several guys, close to 20 guys, that in the last week, and I wouldn't call this a true max because we just didn't want them to push it all the way and perhaps get a guy hurt just before preseason camp. But we had almost 20 guys that benched over 400 pounds.
Awesome.
We got a couple guys that are closing in on 500-pound squat, power cleans, or we got guys in the 350 range. The high 300s, that's a lot of weight on a power clean. So just really excited about the job that our strength staff does to prepare our guys and get them ready for camp.
And my follow-up and final question is, I think a true measurement of a successful program is the depth of talent. And probably the fullback position and the quarterback position for the Black Knights is indicative of where you guys have progressed. Can you just talk about that level of competition and how exciting is it for you as a coach to be able to coach that kind of situation?
Certainly right now with all those guys healthy, there's a great deal of comfort in having so many guys that have played. Starting with that quarterback position, we've got, I don't know, five players, I think, that have started a game. That's unheard of. So, and we have great confidence in all those guys. So I think we're in good shape as long as we can keep them healthy. And the B-back position is very much the same with Cade Bernard and Jacoby Buchanan, Anthony Atkins, Tyson Riley, who we were really impressed with in the spring, and then moving Wilson Cato over there to the B-back position from linebacker. He had a really good spring, much to our surprise and a pleasant surprise. So that's a deep group as well. We got to keep them healthy. As you know, you get a couple guys injured, that puts a lot more of the load on the other guys at the position, and it puts them in jeopardy of being injured. So we're going to try to spread out the reps between all of them, really be careful about what we do with those quarterbacks in terms of contact so that we keep them healthy, and hopefully we can go through the season with all those guys healthy and able to play, because I think there's probably a place for all of those guys to be in the game. And that it's really, to say that about a group of quarterbacks, I mean, to play 4 or 5 different quarterbacks over the course of the season usually isn't a recipe for success. But I think in our offense and what we do, we can handle it, and those guys can handle it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Charles.
Ken,
Jeff, I'm sorry.
go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, Jeff, you use spring as a whiteboard and kind of give everybody a chance and develop some growth. But now you got 4 weeks till the opener. What's your time frame on when you want to start seeing some of the stuff settle out and give you a better idea of first team, second team?
I think we should probably started this morning. I mean, with guys that know their plays, and can execute the fundamentals in the first day, I think it says something about them, about the way they prepared and probably the experience that they have. But that's going to shake out. I don't know that there's a time that we're going to have to make decisions. There's a core group of guys that are going to be, I guess, what you'd call the travel squad, the guys that are kind of in the mix. And I hope there's really good, healthy competition right up to the first game and all the way through the season. That's going to help us improve. I think it'll help each one of those guys individually be the very best that they can be. So we'll sort it out. We got some time, and I think a good thing is those groups that Charles was asking about. Certainly, there's enough experience there that I don't know that we have to make a decision now, or if there's even a decision to make. I think all those guys are capable of playing. Can
you give us an update on the health? You mentioned everybody's healthy. You mentioned Anthony Atkins. I know he had got hurt, the UTSA game and such. But where do we stand? Are you getting everybody back 100% or pretty close to it?
Yeah, we got some guys coming out of the summer that still got some stuff. Some of it was from just training over the summer, getting leg weary or injuries in the weight room or injuries out there doing sprints or whatever it may have been. And that happens. So those guys may not be 100% today, but nobody with injuries that we feel like they're in jeopardy of not playing in the first game. Not any of the guys that would be playing.
Two specific quarterbacks, Jamel Jones, Jabari Laws. What's their status right now?
Healthy, practicing, and competing for the job. So it's nice to see those guys in there.
I'm sure you're pretty happy to see Jabari back finally.
Thrilled. I love that kid. He's a great leader, competitor, just really good, fundamental football player. It's fun to watch him out there throwing the ball. He's got a really quick release. He's got quick feet. He's an excellent athlete. And I think our guys really have a lot of confidence in him, and he's beloved by his teammates. So I'm sure they're excited to see him back out there as well. Nobody's more excited than he is.